here in the broadcast booth. It is the number 8 Truck Series driver, Always Jake, and joining beside me is a man who just got done racing in the Duel 1 race. My great friend and everybody else's great friend, Mr. Tiger NASCAR. Tiger, it's been a while since me and you got a chance to work together. How did your race go?
It was pretty fun. I think we were trying some different things that we might not in the 500, but I think that's the beauty of these dual races. You can do whatever you want really without any consequences. You're just having fun in these races.
I mean, it's definitely about a lot of fun. Of course, something that we talked about this though is that we've seen so many moves in the first race that we've seen a lot of drivers. You yourself went to the top side, and we've seen some people decided to go to the bottom side. But really, truly, I think as far as from your point of view, what do you think is going to be the biggest strategy in this race tonight?
Well, I think it really depends on who's working with who, and you see the transfers from the Clash are I think the biggest part. In Duel 1, we had Killer and Eric working with us that race, and so that's kind of what I think is important for these races is who's working with who. If you have a big party, you're obviously gonna all work with each other, and you're gonna like shuffle those guys out who are in really small parties. So it's kind of stuff like that that makes differences in these races.
And of course, something that we talked about this so is that we're not only paying attention to the Cup Series drivers, but like you said before, we're paying attention to those who have made their way into the dual race from last night's clash. And I will go ahead and get a chance to reveal them to you guys right now. So unfortunately, everybody's favorite Crab is not going to be competing here tonight. But instead, surprisingly enough, will be taking his place will be the 19 of Kenny LaFleur, who's going to be racing for Crab tonight. And of course, not only that, but we also have Jojo Siwa. I think we also have Masopes. And I think there's one more other driver. You can correct me if I'm wrong there, Tiger. But
It's my cards.
and that is my card. So I was right from the first race. So I see how Brody did that. So anyways, um, I'm very excited about this though, is that we are going to be talking about so much. We got the Truck Series Daytona race coming up next Wednesday, and of course we're back to our doubleheader here when it comes to both Xfinity and the Cup Series. And Tiger, you along with myself have been a part of this league since the first season. How much does it mean to you the fact that we're getting ready to start a sixth season here tonight?
It's definitely crazy. I think when this league first started, it was really small. There was only I think two series maybe that had like
Um,
12 drivers showing up to each race. So it's definitely incredible to see the growth that this league has taken over the last couple of years almost.
yeah. Real quick though, can you add Porchy to the party?
Yeah.
All right. So in case you guys do not know who Porgy is, he is an Xfinity Series driver, and I'm very excited because I never got a chance to work with him. I don't think Tiger has ever got a chance to work with him. So we will get at that one Porgy dude who will be joining myself and Tiger NASCAR here tonight. And I want to add to what Tiger NASCAR just mentioned is that I first started in this league with Masopes. We was just calling a race from Talladega for the Cup Series during the playoffs, and now here we are. It is expanded. We got the YouTube channel. We got the Control Chaos podcast that you guys can get a chance to listen to every so couple weeks or months. But yet we're excited. It's gonna be a great time, and I'm ready to see how season 6 plays out for myself, for Tiger, for a lot of these. And I can't stress enough. Thank you to the owners. Thank you to I'm gonna say this, people are gonna be surprised, but Mayhem tomorrow, AlwaysJokerr, Riley. Of course, you can't forget about JoJo. You can't forget about Brody as well. So many of these season one vets who have helped pay the way in. I myself have paid the way for the broadcast booth along with my soaps. So we are ready. It's going to be incredible. Tiger, real quick though, before we do get to live action, who do you see winning tonight's duel number 2 to join Always Eric on the outside row?
I think maybe the favorite would be Nobes because I think he's really good at these tracks. Auto Club. Daytona. He's a Daytona 500 winner as well, and he's starting second with his teammate on the front row for this race. So I think he's got the best chance, or at least maybe the favorite.
As far as like my prediction though is that it all depends on how good of a run this gentleman can do. To me, I'm gonna have to go with I want to say JoJo because I really feel like that JoJo he knows what it takes to win here at Daytona. He knows the strategies and all the calls here at Daytona. So I expect JoJo to be an amazing night for him. And of course, being one of those that can be joining as far as the transfer list. Now, let me ask you. I'm going to put you on the spot here, Tiger. But who do you think is going to be the ones to transfer from the trucks in the Xfinity Series list?
I mean, all four of these guys are really crazy. They're really good at these tracks. I know. Masopes, JoJo, and McCart were really good last night in the Clash. So it may be a little bit of bias, but I kind of have to say Kenny for my teammate, and I don't know who else, but I will with JoJo just because I think he's not afraid to make moves, and that's really helped the trade from these plate races that I've seen.
I definitely do agree. As far as like my prediction, as far as the two, I mentioned it for JoJo. I believe he's going to be one of the first guys to get a chance to go in. But as far as like the final spot, and I pretty much admire all three gentlemen, from what we see. But if I have to pick, I'm gonna have to go with Masopes. I really feel like that he's one of those drivers that who desperately needs to prove himself that he can be a a championship winning driver. I mean, the last time we got a chance to see him, he's won a couple of races. I mean, the last time we saw him was back at season 2 Xfinity. I really feel like Masopes needs to just prove himself by making his way into the Daytona 500 and prove to him and prove to his brand new team in Penske that he's still got it.
Yes.
All right, and of course, we still are less than 3 minutes away here from the booth as far as the race, and I'm excited. I mean, Tiger's excited. Now, let me ask you guys this: as far as those who are watching us live right now, down in the comment section, let us know who you see winning tonight's duel. Let us know who you see winning as far as who's going to be joining Always Eric on the outside, because I know that when it comes to being a transfer, being a chance to win a duel means you're going to have a front row seat to get a chance to be a part of the Daytona 500. And of course, that's something that we saw with Always Eric there, Tiger.
Yeah. For transfer spot, yeah, it's definitely incredible when you make it in. I've been in that spot myself back in season 4, maybe 3, I don't know, but it's definitely amazing when you make it in. And I've never experienced winning a duel, but I'm sure it feels good to be pole for this race next week.
And of course, something I'm really curious to see is how the drivers are going to handle the high draft. And it was high draft as far as your race there, right, Tiger?
Oh yes, it was.
Okay, that's what I thought because something that I've seen is that you know the draft is so difficult. If it's on high draft, I mean, if you get hit, I mean, you can pretty much catch up to these drivers like crazy. That these drivers are gonna have to be very careful as far as what could potentially happen out here tonight. We saw what happened with Ghost. We saw what happened to Freedom, and unfortunately, we saw what happened with Speed. So we will see. Keep our close eye on what the strategies these drivers can make here in tonight's duel. It's going to be a very interesting and it's going to be a very chaotic one, to say the least.
Yep, it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
So if I was y'all, I get your popcorn for Heredia. I get my McDonald's, and I say get ready because it's going to be a very fun night here in the booth. Because after this, we will get a chance to follow up. We'll get a chance to talk about so much, especially leading up to the first race of season 6 for the Truck Series. I know I'm excited about that. With the new team of Roush, and there's gonna be a lot of these drivers, and of course, thanks to a couple of drivers, looks like we have Jackson Altman sent the Heredia Gods um, stream, so we will have a lap counter. So Thank you, Jackson, and of course, thank you, Heredia, on that.
Do you guys have a lap counter last duel or what?
Yeah, we did. It was thanks to the goat himself, Big Jim. Big Jim was the one that helped us as far as the lap counter. So I definitely need you to watch as far as how many laps we have left from Heredia's stream there, Tiger.
All right.
Um, but it looks like we have something going on. As I think the card is the lobby leader at the moment, and there's a lot of confusion. I don't know what's happening at the moment. But we should have got a chance to get going. We're about pretty much a minute past. Um, so we will see what's going on. Hopefully, we'll get everything underway here from Daytona. And
Oh,
unfortunately, they're remaking the lobby.
oh, that's why duel 1 is better.
Just say it loud and proud there, Tiger, that Duel 1's superior. Make that a hashtag on Twitter, make that a hashtag on Instagram, hashtag Duel 1 superior. Because I,
Is this?
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. You go. I didn't know if Instagram has hashtags, but I think they do.
They do as far as like, your posts, whatever you post, you have to make sure you have the hashtags, which I mean, you can't really see what's trending, but still yet though.
That's interesting.
And of course, there's some intensity going on. And by the way, if you guys want to get a chance to follow anybody on Instagram, go follow the Fighting Now, which is AKA yours truly, for some interviews as far as fighters. So make sure you guys go check that out at the Fighting Now on both YouTube and Instagram. As we are now still waiting on the lobby, it's gonna be. I'm pretty sure my voice will end up being gone by the time we even get started. And of course, Nobes is streaming as well. Thank you to both Heredia and Nobes. I think Nobes is streaming on Twitter. So.
Interesting. Is this a good time to play the Whopper Whopper commercial?
If we didn't get copyrighted, I would definitely pop that up. uh, oh, man, but we'll end up seeing that Whopper Whopper commercial by the time the NFL playoffs hits. And I know your team is going to be going to the playoffs, and wish you the best of luck there, Tiger.
Yeah, we're winning it all this year, I'm afraid.
I think Heredia and Riley will say something about that. So
they will be able to. So.
Yeah, and of course, right now we're just trying. And of course, hey, just as he predicted, please help us welcome a third member to the booth tonight. The first time we get a chance to work with this guy. You guys are known for seeing him doing some F1 2017 streams. And of course, he is racing in the number 74 machine in the Xfinity Series. Please help us welcome that one Porchy dude. Porchy, welcome to the broadcast booth. Yeah, if you're watching this live, please let us know if Porchy's voice is now shared. Please let us know for sure. And yeah, I mean, like I said before in the chat, if I'm probably going to lose my voice by the time we get started, I'm probably going to pull a Jim Ross, with color commentary after his screams. So, but Porchy, glad to get a chance to have you on here. So yet, I'm going to ask you this: as far as tonight, who do you see walking out? Joining always Eric in row number 1. Porchy?
And he's
I'd have
gone.
to. Yeah, I had my mic muted for the moment. My voice now should be shared. I had it not allowed for some reason. But I'd have to take a look at the starting lineup for tonight's duel and then make a prediction.
Yeah, and of course, by the way, for anybody that's just now tuning in, we were supposed to get started about 5 minutes ago, and we are still waiting for the owners and admins to give us the go-ahead, but yet, unfortunately, due to some crazy events right now, something going on with Dirty Boy Jackson, this is probably wild, and I'm gonna need more water than I ever thought I could. I'm trying to keep things distracted for you guys. Now let me ask you this though, Porchy. Me and Tiger, we just got done talking about the transfers. As far as Masopes, McCard, Kenny, and JoJo, who do you see being the two to move on and go into the Daytona 500?
Honestly, if I had to pick anyone, it's Masopes because I mean it seems like anytime I'm in a race with them, he's always up front. He knows what he's doing, and he always can put himself in a good position towards the end of the race to be up there when it matters the most.
Yeah, I definitely do agree. And of course, who else do you see there? Because there's more than just one person that can go to the transfer.
Um, I would probably say Macard as well. I've always heard that he's been running well, running decent.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't even know. It looks like there's some tenacity going on between JoJo and Kenny at the moment after what happened last night. But the only reason why Kenny is racing is because Crab would not be able to make it to tonight, which unfortunate news. So Crab, if watching us, shout out to him. But we are just chilling, just waiting. And while you guys are waiting along with us, make sure you guys go click that subscribe button because you guys do not want to miss out on any Hennessy Performance League racing here as we get things ready for the Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and of course the Cup Series. And this is like the longest wait I've ever seen for a dual. Tiger, do you feel the same way?
I don't know, but all I'm thinking is that our lives matter up here as well. So let's get it going here.
Yeah, hashtag broadcast lives matter. Make that to be a trend. Porchy, have you ever seen something this kind of dysfunctional as we're seeing it right now?
Um, I mean, not really. I mean, um, it is a bit of a surprise that it is taking the duel to get a little bit set up, but obviously these things happen from time to time in leagues, so it really isn't a surprise that this is happening right now, given what's going on. But once we get this duel underway, I'm sure we'll have a pretty good race on our hands.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, shout out to Joker, shout out to Brody for sending us the invites for this brand new lobby. Because normally I think we should be about around stage two, maybe end of stage one at this moment. But no, really, truly though, we also want to send a shout out to both Nobes and Heredia God for the lap counters. So I will need both of y'all gentlemen's help on the lap counter because you never know what could happen. I mean, we did not see no manual caution earlier on in the first duel, but we'll see how things go. What in the world, Heredia? Um. Anyways, so we're just gonna chill, I guess. So if you guys want to um, let us know who you guys have as far as winning the dual race tonight, as far as what is your prediction for next week's Speed Weeks. Make sure you guys check that out here on our YouTube channel at Hennessy Performance League. And of course, we have a lot more in store. We're going to try to build more as far as social media. At least I hope so.
You want to go first?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And of course, it's going to be a great time. And of course, a lot of brand new stuff happening. I am trying my best to stall like Joe Book would. So hopefully we'll get things started as we get more invites. It's great getting invites, but I'm just waiting for us to get to the racetrack. Don't you guys agree?
Yeah, I
Yes.
definitely agree. Obviously, I mean, my predictions as far as the race is gonna go, it's definitely gonna be single file for the most part. Everyone getting in line situated, finding their draft partner to work with, and I think probably within the last maybe 8 or so laps, it's probably gonna get crazy because that's when people start to make moves, and obviously since we're at Daytona, there are the chances of crashes happening within these final laps as people are trying to get pretty good starting spots for the Daytona 500 in this league.
Yeah, we'll definitely
I'll go
see.
next.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I guess I'll make my prediction. Is it's gonna be a lot of random moves that you probably won't see in the actual 500 next week, but I don't know if it'll be single file the whole time with the parties that they got.
And we're now finally get a chance to go join. Thank you, Jesus, as we're now get ready to go live from the racetrack. Oh man, we apologize for the wait. We apologize for now 11 minutes. 11 minutes taking us that long for us to get ready. Anyways,
But as they always say, better late than never.
there's always been like an old saying I've always said that good things come for those who wait, right? Well, yeah, I think we've waited quite some time. Don't you guys agree?
Yeah, the rain needs to stay away for the 500.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I mean, just like the actual Daytona 500, where things can get rainy, as we now get to the racetrack where we see the 42 of the Capital One machine himself, Brody, is going to lead things off here in stage number one, with Nobes on the outside, with his newly teammate Tiger. You've won a couple of races in that ride before, haven't you?
I've only won one race in the one car, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only won it over.
The 42 coming up to the high side to pick up his teammates. Now it's double file the entire way around. The one is actually gonna get the lead here, and probably jump down in front of the 42. He's gonna clear him.
Yeah, he's going to help out Brody, try to be able to get up to the front. Meanwhile, as far as our transfer guys, there you see, as far as there are 32 of Jojo, I about said Joseph, 36 of Masopes, 96 of Kenny, and where's McCard's in the 43. Never mind.
Well, right now it seems you got the Ganassi cars with each other, you got the Wood Brothers and Penske cars together, so it's gonna be difficult to separate these two groups because everyone else behind, it really looks like they haven't got situated right now as far as finding who they want to work with. So until they can do that, it's gonna take a little bit to get these front five separated.
Yeah, and you saw at the beginning of the race how Brody was just giving Nopes a draft and getting him to the lead. And I kind of actually saw this in Duel 1 as well with JGR, Roush, and those guys. They all were helping each other. Even though they went to the outside, ran the wall, and they all got each other up to the front there. So that's exactly what those guys are doing here.
Yeah, and now on the third lap, everyone's starting to be single file. There's the two cars on the outside. I think it's the 20 and the 8, I believe. Make that 3 cars now, trying to make the high side work, but it's probably not going to work because you only have 3 cars on the outside and everyone else is on the bottom.
Something I talked about earlier before with Tigers, that the one thing you desperately need to have at a track like Daytona and Talladega is you need patience. And something went on to the back with the 24 of Papa Musso. He's going to go to the back, falling right behind Kenny LaFleur. And looks like he's going to cut right in front of Kenny because Kenny, I don't know what he was doing at the moment, but these two needed to stay together. They needed to start getting the draft. As we see some swerving going on back to the front.
Yeah, the 21. Oh, there's a car on the wall.
19. The 19 of, Chibi. Oh, man. Tough run right
Jackson
there.
Altman's going to have a big run here with the Penske cars. He backed up to get a run, but he's not going to go anywhere with it. He decided otherwise to not go with that run. But yeah, there was contact with, I believe that was the 19 in the back with someone, and now he's lost the draft. So he just has to hope either there's an early caution with these up here because it is getting pretty dicey in this first stage.
Yeah, something I've wanted to mention is that we see the 42. And I'm sorry to cut you off there, Porchy. Is that
it's all good. The 21's going to come at the massive run to the outside. They got to watch out.
Oh, what was Jackson doing?
He had the run, but he just went back to the bottom, and his teammates just went around him.
I would have went.
They
to the
definitely
outside.
had a big enough run to go by the 42 and the 1 there, and decided against it. Now the 24 is on the high side. trying to make that high side work, but it's not really going anywhere.
Yeah, Papamuso, he's got about 3 cars. He looks like he's got masopes, and he's got Kenny LaFleur. And like you said before, I think the way too earlier on as far as the moves.
Here come the Penske cars on the outside again. The one, oh, that's a bad block. That's going to split the 42 and the 1. And now the Penske cars should go around them. The 2 and the 12, or the 12 and the other Penske car are going to, oh, that's a bad block. They're going to be side by side.
Oh, man. Tiger, what are you seeing out there, buddy?
I mean, it's very similar to Duel 1. Those Henry cars are trying to all make it work. And at the very end of the race, they had about 5 guys out there. And they could never get around like the 10 guys who are on the bottom. So it's a very similar situation right now.
The Penske cars are on the high side with the JGR Toyotas, but they're just going backwards now. Now, however, in the third place is he was in the back at the start of the race. It's the 88 of Joker, I believe.
That is not Joker. That is KD 35700, who is now in third. Unfortunately, could not get a chance to race in Duel 1 to join along with Joker. But, of course, he's got another teammate in Papamuso. But right now, it is all Chevys on the top 3. And look who's right behind him. One of the drivers that currently needs to stay up and be ahead of them, that is Jojo Siwa. And it looks like it could be between Jojo and McCord. That could be the first 2 to move on, but yet we're in stage 1, so it's earlier on as we are seeing the one of Nobes and Brody. And by the way, something I want to talk about, though, Porchy, is that these 2 are working really together. The 1 and the 42 are showing some really great chemistry leading this front.
Yeah, definitely. The 42 and the 1 got it situated on the first lap, which is the absolute thing, the best thing that could have worked out for them. Yeah. And now they're all single file again. However, the 96, I believe, in the back there is starting to lose the lead pack just a little bit, but he seemed to get everything in control. So now they're just, I think now that it's lap 9 of 11, I think they're just going to ride this thing out to the end of the stage. However, I do expect everyone to take fuel only after this first stage, because you're not really going to be tires really don't mean that much here at Daytona, especially with how short this race is. Yeah. So definitely expect some fuel only stops here.
Yeah, and just to say, there's 2 laps to go right now on the stage, and yeah.
Oh, but 2 laps to go, but yeah, look at Jackson Allman. He's got some Penske teammates, a little bit of, Masopes and Kelly LaFleur, and here comes the 8, oh my god, I need to get better with these names, Fire Slayer, and Fire Slayer's not going to run with the Penske guys, as we see Nose, we see Brody, we see a lot of these different lines, 2, maybe 3 wide in the back, with Jackson Allman leading his teammates to the promised land, as we're now approaching up to the white flag, this time by... It doesn't matter as far as the stages, but yet, if you're these transfers, you got to have
there's someone in the grass in the back there.
Oh,
sorry to cut you off there, but someone got sent to the grass. Didn't spin, luckily, but they went right through the middle of the grass in the tri-oval there. Now I think that it's the last lap. I think everyone's just gonna stick in line for now, unless the 88 and the 32 decide to do something. The 32 is backing up to get a run. I don't know if it'll do anything, considering 3 and 4 is not the easiest passing, but they're not really situated in the back.
Yeah,
here comes a run.
Yeah, they're going to try to get the run on the outside. Here comes Jojo.
The 32 in the wall.
Oh my god!
Here comes the 24 though. The 24 3 wide.
They're 3 wide. Who is that? Oh,
it's going to be the one.
No,
it's going to be the 1, the 42, and the 24 for the top 3, I believe, in stage 1.
Oh man, it's a great thing that we had. I used that over like the, what is it, the oh my god, the cam where it's like over the drivers. You know what I'm talking about? I used that for the finish. So what a finish that was to end stage number 1. That was crazy. Tiger, your thoughts on what we just saw?
Well, the top five are all Chevys, so and then it's Masopes and McCarr. Well, McCarr and Masopes are right now in the top two transfer spots. What we saw there is we saw Jackson and the Penske drivers were really trying to make that outside lane work, and I think that'll be a key to go on later in the race, especially as more people take notice of that.
Uh, and
I
something,
honestly think the 32 could have. Oh, we see a couple of different stops here. The 20, um,
yeah, 20 of I gotta get better with these names. 20 of Dirty Boy Jackson making some moves. As we're now back to the green flag, being led
it's
by
now a
Papa
Hendrick
Musso.
front row.
Hendrick front row indeed, as we see both Papo and KD. But look at who's right there in third. Papo's teammate in front in the Xfinity Series of McCard. They desperately need McCard right there. And just imagine how huge it could be for McCard to move on to the 500, to be one of the transfers to move on. Really, really awesome stuff we're seeing here, guys. And something that we also need to keep an eye on, as I started a lot again, is that, like Tiger said, be aware of what we could be seeing from the second line. These drivers can make a line in just a matter of seconds. But right
Definitely.
now, there's always been like a lot of patience, and they, oh boy,
Ooh,
clipping that apron at the end of four right there, Porchy.
yeah. The 20 got a little bit on that apron. You don't want to clip it too much, otherwise the 42 or whoever that is behind will go right by you. And that's something. I mean, that's with all series, to be honest, because you just clip that a little too much, and you'll lose that spot just like that.
Yeah, and with JoJo and well,
Here
they're
comes the
still
two on the
JoJo at the
outside
top.
with the 32 and the
Yeah, JoJo
19
with
and the
JoJo and
1.
McCard right now in the transfer spots, that's gonna give SHR and HMS another driver to work with in the 500.
I think the
As we
1 hit the
saw,
wall a bit. The
and
1
as we
fell
saw,
back dramatically.
Tiger, go
yeah,
ahead.
he hit the wall. Yeah, he hit the wall there. As we saw in the one, we know that the numbers matter a lot compared to what I think most people think. So getting those transfers really matter.
Here
Yeah,
comes Masopes on the outside with the 12 behind him, I believe, trying to make that outside lane work. This stage is only 10 laps, so it's 1 lap shorter, but it is, it is a little bit shorter, so probably expect to see some moves within lap 5 or 6, if I had to say. I think everyone for now is just trying to stay in line until... Oh, there's a crash! There's
oh,
a car on the wall!
88! 88 KD!
A
And I
car on the
think,
wall.
I think Nobes finished him off right there. So, tough break for KD. I think he desperately needs to have a caution. If something happens with these drivers yet, we've not seen nothing crazy in the past two stages now. Or not two stages, but already in these first two races. And right now, we're seeing it here in race number 2 is that things can get wild. But look at McCord. McCord says, teammate, we got to get going. We have the 20 right behind us, which the 20 is in the cat dog seat because he is in the mix with all Chevys. He's got his teammate right there. Oh boy, there's some contact being made in the back. We have to keep an eye on this. 96 to 21 to 36.
Yeah, the 3 wide in the back a little bit. Just
And
for a split moment there, and it seemed like anytime there's been a crash, it's only been a one car collision.
yeah,
Unfortunately, not resulting in the caution for the person affected, but knowing that there's stages in this race, it does give them hope towards the end of the race, knowing there's going to be a stage caution. I can, recontrol, regroup, and go again.
yeah.
There's two things I'm noticing right now, and that is that I think a lot of guys like KD were getting.
Here comes the
I mean,
19 with the massive run. He doesn't have anyone to go with him though, but he's gonna fall right to the back unless someone comes up to the high side to push him. But I don't think that's gonna be the case. There are people on the high side and the back, but the run is just not there.
Tiger grand finish.
There's a couple things I'm noticing. In KD's situation, I think a lot of people are really backing up. And what you're seeing with Chivy is, I've been racing with him a lot in these restriction plate races, and recently he does this all the time. He's backing up. And a lot of times it just causes you to lose control of your car, and you just see he's going to make a run here and be off him too.
Yeah, it's something that we're seeing. We're seeing some different type of strategies And of course, we're seeing some different lines. We're seeing Kenny LaFleur. I think Kenny's been like the one guy that's been trying to go to the outside this entire race already, saying, anybody want to help out old Kenny? But yet nobody wants to help him until probably about the mid to the last part of the stage. So surely enough, there'll be a second line running. But right now, it is all Papa Musso. It is all McCard. And of course, Dirty Boy Jackson right there in third. And look at this. Look in the back there between looks to be the 19 of Chibi, the 36. There's a lot of different lines happening, but it's way too early. You got to stay patient, like I mentioned before. Patience is the key for everything. And look at the 19.
It is 4 laps to go.
Yeah.
Coming to 3 to go, and the 19 with a massive run. He's going to get help here with the 32, I believe, and the 42 as well. He's going to get a run off. He's going to get a run off fourth. There's going to be a crash. There's a car on the wall. The 32 in the wall again.
Good save from JoJo. JoJo was the one that got hit the most out of what we see. I think we're, 2 laps to go?
3 to go.
3 to go this time by. This is why we have lap counters for a reason. Shout out to Heredia and Nobes once again.
I was surprised that was not a crash. I thought the 32 was going to bounce off the wall right into everyone else because they were 3 wide on back behind the 32.
Oh, man. Tiger, I think you can agree with me when I say is that if you make one wrong move, it can ruin the rest of the field on this one.
Yeah, and with these transfer drivers especially, you don't want to make a bad move and get shuffled out. And I know Kenny's been moving a lot to the outside, he's trying to make stuff happen, but there's a point in time where I think you just have to ride the ball because that's the best way to gain positions, and I think, especially in the 500, people aren't going to go as keen to go to the outside just because, you gain positions if you just stay on the bottom of the whole race.
We have 2 laps to go right now, and we're seeing McCord have himself a really good stage at the moment. He's running right behind his teammate, Papa Musso, but look at the 1, look at the 96 and the 42, or sorry, the 32, should I say, trying to be able to build something up because they know that coming up this is the white flag to end stage number 2. What can they do here as we're approaching to the white flag?
And the 20's starting to back up here. Expect a run. Here comes the 36 of Masopes on the outside with the Penske cars behind them. They're going to go right around the 20. They're going to have a massive run here. The 24's got to be aware of this. Same with the 43.
Yeah, but the problem is that top side's not getting any help. They need to get some drivers, but they're going to have to be stuck with it because they know that there's plenty of drivers on the bottom. Can they get some more help on the outside here in the back straightaway?
Get another run. Here comes the 20. They're going to be 3 wide for second.
The 20.
The 36 is going to get a massive run. They're connected on the high side, but I don't think it'll matter. I think the 43 is just going to follow the 24 here. He is backing up, but I don't think the run's going to be enough.
Yeah, I don't see, there's a lot of drivers trying to make moves. Oh my God! And it's going to be Papa Musso. Look at there, Papa, McCard, and Fireslayer. Top 3 right now to end stage number 2. That was wild. We've seen some back-to-back wild finishes. Tiger, I got to give your thoughts on what we just saw there. Did you think that the 43 was trying to make a move? Maybe just a thing to say, I might as well pass him, right?
Well, he's either going to be, if he stays in line, he's going to be in second, which we know is not the best place to be. And if he makes a move, he's either going to go first or he thinks someone will maybe pass him in third. So I just think he didn't want to be on the outside.
Yeah. Now, Porch, I'm going to ask you this, though. What can we expect here in the third and final stage? Do you think we'll see some aggressive moves as far as our transfer guys, or do you think we'll see anybody from the pack trying to make that aggressive move to get to the front?
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of people will make aggressive moves. And speaking of some moves, different strategies here. The 42 is all the way in the back. It's now the 36 in the front of Masopes.
Mm-hmm.
So different strategies here. Some people taking 2 tires, some people taking only fuel only. So it's Masopes leading right now with Jackson Altman on the outside with the one who has been a very good pusher.
Oh God!
On the high side.
Yeah, that's all what happened.
Masopes got the apron a little bit. That's going to give the 21 a run. Here comes the one with the push.
And And look who's up front, the 96 of Kenny LaFleur. It would be, and if this race would have ended, it would be Kenny and it would be McCart, I believe, to be our first two transfers. But no, I take that back. It would be Masopes and Kenny. My apologies. Don't at me in the comments.
So now, unfortunately, Jackson's going to get all the way to the back. Same with the 1. The 42 is back there as well, but it's going to be difficult to try and make your way. Oh, there's a crash! It's Ganassi cars! It's both of the Ganassi cars!
Big
That's
wreck.
the 42 in the wall, and the 1 in the wall, and the 12. That's a caution.
God. That is a caution from a mile away. That was
both Ganassi cars and the 12.
Oh, that's a terrorist, and I hate that name still, but nevertheless, we are now under our first caution of the night. That was wild. So, Tiger, I want to say this, though. I find it a coincidence that our first 4 is the transfer drivers, and what we just saw there, that was a little bit hectic. Did anybody see what happened?
It looks like the 42 tried to get down, and I'm not sure. I couldn't really tell. All I saw was the 42 went dead right and collected the 1, and then the 12 had nowhere to go.
I think it was just incidental contact, but at this point in time, I think you're going to see Masopes and JoJo first and third just going to kind of ride in line the whole time here and just try to wait it out.
Alrighty, so once again, though, is that top 4 is the top 4 drivers that are desperately needing this transfer. You see Masopes, Kenny LaFleur, JoJo, and McCart as we're back underway here. And something I don't think that our viewers know about is that whenever you have JoJo and Masopes together, those two cannot be separated because of how long they've run really good together, not only as teammates but also as friends. As we see the aggressive
Getting a little
move, loose. Outside needs to start doing something here. What can Masopes do?
Yeah, the 96 is going to come with a massive run with the push from the 43. They're going to be side by side in turn 3, but I don't know. It'll be close. Will the 96 be able to clear them?
Masopes is right
that's
there.
Really close. They're separated on the bottom. I think the 96 is going to clear him. He will. The 96 has got to get down. He does. Now it's the 43 and the 24 on the high side, and you know those two have worked together, so they'll stay together.
Yeah.
And the bottom is still separated, so the 43 is going to get a massive run here in the corner. He's going to get a push from the 24, and the bottom is not together at all. The 24 actually goes down and leaves the 43 out to dry. The 3 wide on the back. The 19 is a little contact between Jackson Altman and the 19 of Chibi. That was interesting.
And what we just saw with Masopes was a little bit interesting. Tiger, what are you seeing?
Well, I saw my car go into the snuffer hole, but I mean, they had the outside lane there for a couple laps. I'm not sure why Papa left this. I think Papa is teammates with McCart, right?
Papa is the same teammates with McCart. It's just they're in different series, so that's why I was like really shocked by what we just saw between the 43 and the 24. You would expect the 24 to help out McCart, but no, that's not the case. And yet you got to think about what's going through the minds of both Riley
Here
and
comes
Joker.
the 32 to the outside. Oh, there's a car on the wall in the back.
The one
Not
of
sure
Nobes,
that was.
the one of Nobes. I just saw the Monster Energy car going to the outside wall. But nevertheless, though, as far as what we're seeing, and here's the big story, the 96 and the 36, those two need to stay up front, in front of JoJo and McCart, to move on to transfer their way into the Daytona 500 next Thursday night.
Yeah, and I believe coming up on 6 laps to go, if I'm correct. I think if I were the 36 and the 96, I would just stay together. I mean, because you got the other two in the back. I think they're way in the back as well. I mean, you got JoJo in 4th, but the 43 is pretty far in the back. So I would stay. If I were them, I would stay hooked together, considering that the bottom is a very good lane to be in, obviously, and everyone's single file right now.
And everybody's single file for right now, but you never know what could happen. We could see a line being formed outside together. Tiger mentioned it very well, is that, there's one thing that these drivers need is to find out that right strategy, when is the time to make the right move, because we all know it's usually the last lap before we see what happens as far as the conclusion of these duels. Tiger, I know you've been watching this very closely.
Yeah, so if 5 laps to go here, and if I'm JoJo, I definitely wait until the last lap. But if I'm the car, based on what I saw from Duel 1, I would not be surprised if he goes a bit earlier, just because he's obviously needs a lot more help than JoJo does right now. So I think that'll be something to watch coming up before he goes time.
And I personally feel
It
like if
looks like
go ahead.
sorry to cut you off there, but it looks like Masopes is starting to back off from the 96. I don't think Masopes is trying to get a run on the 96, but trying to prevent the run from the 24.
As we do see a line formed on the
Oh,
outside between.
there's contact. The 32 shoves the 21, and the
Oh,
42 is in the
the
wall in the back.
Oh my god, that was so close, and that did ruin Brody's chances of even getting a chance to win the race. He's going to lose the draft at the moment. Meanwhile, back to the front.
Jojo
Go ahead.
Jojo shoved the 21 down below the yellow line. Not sure how that's going to go, and it prevented, it caused a stack up, and unfortunately Brody was the victim there in that situation. Unless there's a yellow, Brody's not going to have a chance to win the race. The 32!
Oh my god, JoJo!
Oh, the 36! There's contact! There's a crash in the back! The 1 is into the wall!
Is
The
that
one!
And the 32, the 24, I believe, that's going to be a yellow, I believe.
That
And
has to be a
that's going to be a
yellow.
caution. That's going to be a green, white, checkered. The
Oh my
36
God.
was not letting that 32 get below him at all, and it caused a crash in the back with the 1 and the 24, I believe.
Oh my god, this is wild. This is wild as it can be.
Yeah, it was the 24 of Papa Musa, and the 1. The 1 went right into the wall on the inside. Very hard hit. That is probably not going to go over well with between Masopes and Jojo.
No.
That I don't know, but I like Masopes, but that was that was not ideal to say the least.
Well, something to watch here is Kenny and Dirty Boy are teammates technically. They're running first and third, so
And you got the Ganassi cars in the back who have honestly been up for the most of stage 1. Now it's completely different. So now it's the 96 and the 36.
Yeah,
Not sure how this is going to play out because considering what just happened, the 32 is going to want to get around the 36 immediately. And you got the 96 and the 43 in the bottom, and the 43 is not that far back. He's only 2 cars back from the 96, and he'll be ahead of these. He'll be ahead of the 36 and the 32 by the time we get out of turn 2, I believe.
Green, white, checkered, underway.
Masopes just shoved McCard under the yellow line that caused JoJo to get in the wall.
Oh boy, yeah.
Now it's Kenny and McCard in the transfer position.
And just
Masopes tried to get down below in front of the 43, and it caused JoJo to get in the wall. So now, not only they're not in the transfer position, but McCard and Kenny are now the transfer spots.
White flag underway this time by, especially for Kenny LaFleur, and of course, McCard. You know desperately JoJo's going to try to build his second line. They need to do something. They want to catch up to both Jackson and Kenny, because Kenny, he pretty much got his way in.
Here comes the run from the 21. The 21's going to back up to get a massive run. Kenny's got to be careful because if he makes one bad block, he could be wrecked and ruin his chances of making the Daytona 500. If I would be Kenny, I would not try and block that run to cause a massive wreck.
God,
Here comes McCard. Here comes McCard through the middle, and it's gonna be McCard to win.
McCard wins it. McCard wins it. Oh my god!
Wow! And a 3-wide photo finish. McCard and the 43 wins the race with Jackson Altman, I believe, in second, and Kenny LaFleur in third. And that is your dual results. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, McCard and Kenny are the 2 transfer spots.
That is right. Oh my god. That was insane. That was probably so intense right there. It's a good thing I went to that camera shot because we just saw McCard go up in the middle and move his way into the Daytona 500. That was intense. That was insane. Tiger, I got to get these boys in here. If you don't mind helping me out, please give me
Definitely.
McCard and give me Kenny and Jackson.
That
All
was
right.
that was interesting to say the least. That was a three wide photo finish to kick it off the end of the duels, and now that that's over, we have to we have next week's race with the Trucks Xfinity, and then the Daytona 500 as well.
We had two cautions in that race, not to mention we just saw what happened between McCard and what we saw between. There was just drama all over the place. Dell Jr. at his best right there, making that move, making that one desperate move he made, and now he's going to be moving on to the Daytona 500. I find this coincidence that now we see two drivers from the Clash that are going to be leading us to the green flag next Thursday night for the Daytona 500. Both Always Eric and McCard. This is going to be a great night. If you're a Hendricks fan, and most of all, a great night. If you're especially a CGI fan, because this is going to be a great night. This is going to be wild. Porchy, you just saw what happened. What did you think about that move?
Honestly, it was definitely surprising to say the least to have the middle. I was honestly surprised that Jackson went high as he did, or whoever that was that made the move, because if he did, he probably would have won that race if he didn't go so high off the corner. But I think what's going to be interesting is the discussion post race with masopes and
JoJo, yeah.
JoJo, because that was controversial to say the least.
I best believe that the gloves will be coming off between both drivers, as we now definitely need to change our focus onto who we have in the booth tonight and who just now joined us. Please, first of all, let's go ahead and talk to Mr. Jackson Altman. Jackson, what a race that was. How are you feeling right now? Pretty much, let's go ahead and get to Tiger and Porchy to ask Jackson some questions. You guys have any questions or comments you guys want to say to Jackson?
Yes, I do. Jackson, knowing that how chaotic this race was, like what is the like? How does this prepare you for the 500? Knowing that towards the race, there's going to be moves, there's going to be crashes, and there's most likely going to be a lot of restarts towards the end. Like, what is the preparation for you heading into that race?
Yeah. Uh, let's go ahead and get things. Move on to a different driver, a man who pretty much made his way into the 500 by finishing second, Mr. Kenny LaFleur. Kenny, you there, buddy?
Yeah.
Kenny, you had a roller coaster of a race. We've seen you in the back. We've seen you trying to make some moves on the outside, and here you are. You had that photo finish against McCard. Take us through your thoughts on what you saw in the last three laps.
The last three laps before the caution, I had my guys trying to work with me. I wanted it to be me and Mythos making it in, Jackson's protecting us, and then that caution came out and kind of just bunched up the order. And I don't know, Jojo and Mythos got into something, and then, I was pretty safe by then. And, congrats to my card.
Yeah, I'm gonna say what happened between both JoJo and Masopes. I mean, you pretty much might as well say that was a blessing in disguise, don't you think?
Yeah, little. They kind of got in their own stuff. They just fell apart.
Well, we'll definitely have to see from there. But yeah, let's go ahead and take it to both Tiger and Porchy as far as questions. Take it away, gentlemen.
Kevin,
Yeah.
did you finish second?
No, I finished third, I think.
Oh,
Uh,
But
well,
still made it in.
how does it feel to get a podium in a duel race?
A podium in the dual race, not what I was expecting. You know, I didn't have much expectations, but being at the front there at the end really made it easier for me. So I'm really happy about that result.
Good for you,
And
Ken.
if I have a question as well. On that last lap, coming out of turn four, were you just thinking to yourself, I'm in the top five, the other two are in the back. I'm not gonna throw any blocks or anything to hinder my chances to win the race. Like, was that something that was on your mind, or trying to win the race as well?
Yeah, I wasn't worried about who was behind me. I only knew that McCard was there and Jojo and Masopes were way back, so I wasn't doing anything risky at the end there, just trying to get my spot.
Very well said. So, real quick though, do we have the Mr. Natty Light Man himself? Does he got his headset on? The card? Hey, either way though. So first of all, we want to say congratulations on that final run, on that final lap right there. I mean, you pretty much look like a bullet out of a gun. Take us through your thoughts on what happened on the last lap. And of course, something I've always thought about is that, how much does it mean to you now the fact that you're not only going to the Daytona 500, but you're also going to be starting up front row in the 500. Apparently, they can't hear McCard.
But they're not going to be able to.
They're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to, guys. So, but one thing I can say is, Dell Senior, hey, raise hell, praise Dell. That's the way McCard lives. As far as that though, is that let's go ahead and take it to Tiger and Porchy. Take it away as far as any comments or questions you guys have for the winner tonight.
I
Yeah,
guess I'm.
I do have a question. McCard, within those last five laps, did you expect Jojo and Masopes to get into it and pretty much just hand you the transfer spots? And not only that, when you got that run, did you think that it was going to be a good enough run to win the race as well? Yeah, and congrats once again on not only winning the duel but making the Daytona 500 as well. I'm sure you're very happy with that and very satisfied with that.
Alrighty. Tiger, any questions or comments you have for McCard?
McCard, do you know who you're starting alongside for the race? You are starting alongside the GOAT, always Eric. So, how does it feel to be starting by greatness? Yeah.
uh, Pretty much yes. That's what happened.
Flabbergasted.
Well, hey, one thing I say is though is that we definitely wish you the best of luck. Good luck to you as far as what we could be seeing in the Daytona race. Good luck to you as far as the Xfinity race. We'll let you go drink a natty light like we all know you would, and go and get ready for next week, buddy. All right? No problem. Have a good night. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was an amazing night, an amazing time here tonight in the broadcast booth. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be very awesome to see what goes on as far as next week as we do continue with some speed weeks. It's going to be a great night. Y'all don't want to miss it. Let's go ahead and ask Tiger. Do you have any final thoughts? Any final comments you want to say before we hop off the air?
I don't think it'll be this chaotic next week, just because moving up to the outside line will be a lot worse for sure. It's like tonight you're only losing 10 spots. Next week you're going to lose 20 spots, and that's going to take about 10 laps to recover. So I don't think we'll expect near the intensity that we did tonight next week.
Very well said. Porchy, do you have any final thoughts? Any final comments you want to say?
Yes, I do. It was a very chaotic duel race, to say the least. And knowing that now we head to the main race, the Daytona 500, with the playoff points, the stages, the stage points, that's going to be very critical heading late into the season for some people. So definitely expect. I should expect. At least my expectations are very chaotic dual finish or stage finishes. I mean, and not only that, obviously, there's probably going to be a lot of crashes towards the end of the race. People trying to stick their nose to the bottom and stuff like that, because we have seen a lot of that towards the end of the dual race, trying to make it in, and it definitely should be chaotic as well, because not only, I mean, this race only had 14 people, and with like 20 to 30 people for the 500, it's going to be hectic. It's going to be crazy. There's going to be a lot of action. There's probably going to be a lot of crashes, door banging. Like I said, getting to the inside of people and stuff like that. Definitely going to be exciting as well. And not only that, we can't ignore that the other races, the trucks and Xfinity. Those should be good as well. Whenever those happen, I believe on Monday and Tuesday,
No,
if I'm not mistaken.
Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, so that will be Wednesday and Thursday. For anybody that doesn't know, we will do the Truck Series Wednesday, and of course the doubleheader for you guys next Thursday. I'm about to lose my voice, but yet, hey, I want to thank both you and Tiger for joining me here in the broadcast booth as we now move forward to Speed Weeks with the Truck Series and of course the Xfinity Cup next Thursday. If you guys like what you see, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any Hennessy Performance League. From all of us here at Hennessy Performance League, for Tiger NASCAR, for that one Porchy dude, I am always Jake saying so long, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday night for Daytona.